Terror strikes the South Shore. In late 1990, Lake and Porter counties in northwest Indiana were gripped by a wave of fear as a series of brutal shotgun shootings unfolded, leaving 7 dead and several others wounded. This horrifying string of violence terrorized a community that had never witnessed such brutality, fundamentally altering the sense of safety that residents once took for granted. The shootings occurred sporadically, with most victims seemingly chosen at random. Most were killed by a shotgun blast to the head at close range, a method that suggested a cold and calculated approach to murder. Halloween that year brought an unusual tension, as parents and local officials worried about the safety of children out trick-or-treating.
"We were terrified,"
recalled a mother from Griffith.
"You couldn't help but feel like every dark corner held danger."
As night fell, residents began to modify their routines. Drivers maintained significant distance between their vehicles and others, a desperate attempt to avoid becoming the next target of the elusive shotgun killer. Fear permeated the towns, as each gunshot echoed like a death knell in the community. A breakthrough in the case came in 1991 following the arrest of Antoine McGee, who was suspected in a robbery at a Gainier Bank near South Lake Mall. In a stunning twist, McGee named his 22-year-old friend, Christopher Peterson, as the infamous shotgun killer.
"He was the last person anyone would suspect,"
said Detective Sarah Mendez.
"But the evidence began to stack up."
Peterson, who later changed his name to Obadiah Ben Israel, initially confessed to the murders, attributing his actions to a potent mix of rage, drugs, and alcohol. However, he later retracted his confession, igniting a complex legal battle that would span years. The murder spree included several harrowing incidents. On October 30th, Lawrence E. Mills, 43, was shot in the head while sitting in his car outside the American Legion Post 66 in Griffith, Indiana. With no witnesses, police later found Peterson's palm print on Mills' vehicle, but a judge ruled it inadmissible, complicating the prosecution's case. Days later, another victim, Rhonda L. Hammersley, was killed outside a gas station. A co-worker who witnessed the attack described a man approaching with a shotgun.
"I just put my head down and pretended to be dead,"
she recounted. The attacker's description varied, raising doubts in the minds of the investigators. The spree continued to claim lives, with victims such as Harshand S. Dhaliwal, a clerk and owner at a Hudson service station on Route 6 in Portage, Indiana. Marie Meitzler, 48, who was found December 15th behind the front desk of a Howard Johnson motel at 6161 Milton Road, also in Portage. And Ora L. Wildermuth, who met a gruesome end outside of an ATM. Wildermuth was shot multiple times after allegedly cursing at Peterson, and an encounter he later retold with chilling indifference. "I just had to do it," he told police, a statement that left investigators reeling. As police closed in, they found a sawed-off shotgun in Peterson's mother's apartment, a critical piece of evidence linking him to the crimes. Meanwhile, McGee and another man, Ronald J. Harris, provided incriminating testimony implicating Peterson in multiple murders. Harris, in particular, confessed to being present during several attacks, including the robbery at the Hudson service station. In a series of trials that followed, the evidence was a mixed bag. While Peterson was acquitted of some murders due to reasonable doubt, largely stemming from conflicting witness descriptions, he was ultimately convicted of the murders of Dhaliwal and Meitzler and sentenced to death.
"The courtroom was filled with tension,"
recalled Mendez.
"You could feel the weight of the community's grief and anger."
Harris was also convicted for his role in the murders, receiving a lengthy sentence. Meanwhile, Peterson's death sentence faced multiple appeals, and in a stunning twist, it was later overturned, allowing him to remain incarcerated at Pendleton State Correctional Facility in Indiana with a projected release date of 2050. The case of the shotgun killer serves as a haunting reminder of how quickly safety can dissolve into chaos. For the residents of Lake and Porter counties, the scars of that dark time linger long after the headlines faded. As one local resident poignantly put it,
"You can never really go back to feeling safe once you've seen what humans are capable of."